from the CBS Bay Area studios, this is KPIX 5 News.
The KPIX 5 this morning. The time is 7:59. I'm Melissa Caen.
And I'm Phil Matier. And this sweltering heat wave just keeps rolling on as we take a live look now at downtown San Francisco. You can barely see it through all that haze. And Neda Iranpour joins us now with a look at the highs and hopefully maybe even some kinds of new lows.
Yeah, some new lows. We definitely wanted those overnight lows to drop more, but they didn't. So it really, for people without air conditioning, it was really hard to sleep last night. I'm sure a lot of people can relate to that, and maybe you're feeling it in your lungs today because we still have that smoky air. It is back. We're hoping for some clearing. This is a beautiful shot of the sunrise this morning as we look towards the bay, and the bay is where we're going to see some of the clouds coming through as a wind from the coast, from the ocean, actually does work its way in. Unfortunately, our Mount Vacacam still looks pretty nasty out there. Air quality still unhealthy. Temperatures right now in Concord bumping up to 77 degrees. Livermore already 77. Cooler though for San Francisco at 69. Here's what we're watching closely. Look at the wind direction. When it comes from the west, that is some good news. We're going to get some onshore flow coming through, help cool things down, but we're really only going to feel that cooling right along the coast and along the bay. Unfortunately for you folks inland, another day of triple digits in store. West-southwest winds though in San Francisco right now at 10 miles per hour, and it looks like some west winds in Napa as well. So we welcome the west winds. It's been east winds for a while, and I know a lot of people are sick of that because that's what brought in all that hot air. Normally this time of year we should be at 70 for San Francisco. Today we're going to hit 85, and that doesn't sound like relief because we're still 15 degrees above average, but it is compared to what we've experienced with temperatures into the triple digits. Oakland expecting to hit 90 today. San Jose 99. I'll have more detailed forecasts coming up in just a bit. Back to you guys.
All right, in Marin, there's not a fan to be found on the shelves of this hardware store. The AC units are sold out as well. An employee at Goodman's in Mill Valley told us that she's ordered more fans to keep up with the demand, but they may not arrive for a couple of more days.
I have emptied my warehouse right now, and yesterday some people buy 5 or 6, and I asked, why you need too many? Because I need to put in all my house. It's too hot.
Now, the store had about 200 fans on Friday, but all of them are gone. And there's more proof of people's trying to beat the heat. Highway 1 was packed 10 a.m. yesterday with people headed for Stinson Beach. The temperature there was about 100 degrees, but at least the water was cooler at 61 degrees. Baker Beach in San Francisco was also packed as hundreds of people were sprawled out on the sand yesterday afternoon. It was a similar scene nearby at Ocean Beach.
And President Trump is back at the White House after meeting flood victims from Hurricane Harvey. Last night, he and First Lady Melania Trump landed at Joint Base Andrews in Maryland. Earlier, the president thanked rescuers from the Coast Guard in Texas and offered support to evacuees. Reporter Don Champion has more on the president's trip as affected communities begin a long recovery.
Hundreds of people greeted President Trump outside the National Guard Armory in Lake Charles, Louisiana. Mr. Trump was there for an update on the ongoing response to Harvey. The president also visited hundreds of evacuees at a shelter in Texas. He promised to help survivors rebuild.
They say 2 years, 3 years. I think that, because this is Texas, you'll probably do it in 6 months, I have a feeling.
Mr. Trump received backlash for not visiting victims during his first trip to Texas after Harvey made landfall. This time, First Lady Melania Trump and the president handed out Red Cross kits and served meals to families. The Houston Astros gave away thousands of tickets to people in area shelters, and fans donated supplies and money. A devastated community is beginning to heal one day at a time. Don Champion, CBS News, Houston.
At least 53 people died from the storm, and the president has called for a national day of prayer today to show support for the victims. And hundreds of communities across the West Coast are on alert for fire danger. Right now in California, there are about 30 active fires. A fast-moving blaze is threatening parts of Los Angeles. It has blackened more than 5,000 acres. Mayor Eric Garcetti has declared a local state of emergency, and he's directed city agencies to take all necessary steps to protect life and property in the area. Now, in terms of acreage, this is the biggest fire in the city's history. Wind and heat are making it tough for firefighters to get a handle on it. Now, some mandatory evacuations have already been ordered, but fire officials are warning others to get ready to get out.
Be set, have your car positioned appropriately, have your pets, your documents, your pictures, all the things that you want to protect loaded up in your car.
So far, no injuries have been reported, but at least one home has been destroyed.
And here in the Bay Area, firefighters are trying to make sure that no fires break out during the heat wave as well. And that's especially true in the Oakland Hills. It's an area with an extreme fire danger, and last winter's rains caused a surge in undergrowth that could quickly catch, and fires could burn through it at record paces. Crews are bracing for the worst, patrolling the hills and searching the skies.
We're just looking for anything out of the ordinary. We're looking for any sign of smoke, any sign of fire. The conditions right now are extremely high, extremely hot. It's days like this that really validate our efforts with our fire prevention.
Along with the patrols, firefighters also conducted multiple drills yesterday, like deploying a powerful hose within 60 seconds.
And a Bay Area man who was in that shootout that killed the sheriff's deputy has now died. 32-year-old Thomas Littlecloud of Castro Valley died last night from wounds he suffered on Wednesday. Officers were investigating a stolen car case when they knocked on a door at a hotel in Sacramento. Littlecloud fired a high-powered assault rifle through the door, wounding 2 highway patrol officers. They survived, but he then ran to the balcony where he shot Sacramento County Deputy Robert French. He was a 21-year veteran of the department. French later died.
Now to North Korea, where the government's news agency claims that it has successfully tested a hydrogen bomb. The report claims that the weapon was designed to fit on an intercontinental ballistic missile, but experts say that it's nearly impossible to verify such a claim. This is North Korea's 6th ever test of a nuclear weapon and the first since President Trump took office. Trump says North Korea's words and actions continue to be very hostile and dangerous.
Now, Senator Feinstein is responding to the backlash over this comment about President Trump.
I just hope he has the ability to learn and to change. And if he does, he can be a good president. And that's my hope.
Now, some laughter in the audience, and some people in the crowd booed the senator. She was at the Commonwealth Club in San Francisco last week. Now, the remarks did not sit well with the state Senate leader, Kevin De Leon. He says it is the responsibility of Congress to hold him accountable, especially Democrats, not be complicit in his reckless behavior. Feinstein released this statement to clarify, quote, "I've been strongly critical of President Trump when I disagree on policy and with his behavior." She went on to say that she wants the president to change for the good of the country, though she says she's under no illusion that that's likely to happen.
Welcome back. Well, it's not going to be good for this weekend, but the company behind America's biggest indoor family water park hopes to break ground in Gilroy. Great Wolf Lodge is now in a 60-day negotiating agreement with city leaders over the resort, set to include 700 family suites plus shops and restaurants. The site would go up right next to the Gilroy Gardens family theme park. But some parents aren't so sure the grand plan is good for Gilroy.
Gilroy is kind of a simple town, I guess. I don't know. It's already growing so much, just to have another huge park to bring in a lot of people. I don't know. I'm a little unsure.
A city worker couldn't answer our questions about the fine print due to the clause in the negotiating agreement on disclosing information. But if a deal is struck, construction could start as early as December of 2019.
What you may not know, however, is that for decades, Cheech has been an avid collector of Chicano art, preserving the important history and contributions of Mexican Americans throughout our state and our nation.
That's right. This week, Cheech Marin was honored on the floor of the California State Senate. He's partnering with the Riverside Art Museum to create a center for Chicano art. Marin is best known as one half of the iconic comedy duo, Cheech and Chong. You can see there these senators lining up for selfies.
That's right.
It was bipartisan celebrity crushing in there.